Samsara is related to the Sanskrit word for world. But to be more precise, what it really means is the way that we experience things coming into being and then passing out of being. The way that we experience the world as a series of birth, death, and rebirth. This idea that the world is a part of a circle, a cycle that constantly recurs, was one that was fascinating to Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher. He had a thought experiment, and it goes like this. He said, imagine a demon were to appear to you in your loneliest moment, and that demon were to say and show you your entire life, everything that you'd ever done, all the way up to that moment, every thought that you'd thought, every feeling that you'd had, every pleasure you'd experienced, every situation when you felt terrible pain. And if that demon said to you, from now on, you will live this exact life in this exact order over and over and over again for eternity, how would you feel about it? Would you think, oh my goodness, I can't bear to live another life like this? Or would you say to the demon, you are a god, thank you? Now this idea that he was trying to express was a desire to help us to appreciate our situation, to appreciate the gifts of life, to be courageous enough to face into pain and suffering. That was his hope. And in many ways, so much of what we hear about time isn't that cyclical view of time. It's much more of a picture of time as a kind of arrow, as a kind of progress. Our scientific worldview, if you could call it that, one of our scientific worldviews is the idea of a big bang, where everything starts at one discrete moment in time and then unfolds. Even time begins in that moment and unfolds through history. Another picture that we have of time as irreversible is evolution. You just can never go back to what was before. You can't circle back in that way. And mostly biblical writing, most of it is about that linear vision of time, where things change and you can't get back what's lost and what's from the past. But there are different sections, like in the book of Ecclesiastes. And in Ecclesiastes, the author writes, for everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what was planted. And in some ways, when we do see our life as a cycle, it gives us a chance to learn to recognize that what we're experiencing isn't just happening to us, but happening to other people. For instance, when we see our life as a cycle, we may be encouraged to spend more time with our elementary age child because we know that that child is going to be spreading his or her wings as they get into high school and college years. We can learn from the cycles of time. I have no idea where you are. Whether right now for you, time is a progress, it's an arrow that's been shot from some distant place. I don't know whether time for you is a kind of cycle, that you're experiencing a kind of season. But as we come back from the pandemic, as we begin to take stock of where we are, as we begin to look at what's past and imagine what could be in the future, my prayer is that God is with you during this time, that you don't waste a single moment of it, because the world is good and it was made by God for us, for all creation to enjoy one another and to enjoy this time that we have together. My name is Malcolm Clemens Young. I'm the Dean of Grace Cathedral in San Francisco, California. Thanks for watching More Good News.